It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Wednesday, November 12. Senator Bato Dela Rosa's camp is pushing back against a DOJ statement that the Philippines could surrender him to the International Criminal Court if an arrest warrant is issued. That's in connection with the Duterte administration's war on drugs, which Dela Rosa led as PNP chief. The senator's lawyer, Attorney Israelito Torreon, argues that RA 9851 is not self-executing and that there is no existing process or framework for surrendering an accused to a foreign tribunal. They now plan to file an urgent motion before the Supreme Court to clarify the DOJ's mandate and prevent what they describe as unconstitutional actions. Meantime, the ICC has moved to remove a neuropsychologist assigned to assess former President Duterte after the expert allegedly posted offensive content online. The court also rejected the defense's request to postpone pretrial proceedings, saying there is no basis to delay the case.
House Speaker Boji D is pushing for an anti-political dynasty bill despite having several relatives in office. At the resumption of session in the lower chamber, D presented the measure as part of his reform agenda against corruption. He urged lawmakers to define and ban political dynasties as mandated by the Constitution. The Akbayan Reform Bloc also filed a separate bill barring relatives up to the fourth degree from running for elective posts simultaneously. Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile remains in intensive care as of Wednesday morning, November 12. His daughter, Katrina Ponce Enrile, said the former Senate President is being treated for pneumonia under the care of his physicians. Senator Jinggoy Estrada earlier said Enrile had a slim chance of survival.
The death toll from Typhoon Owan has climbed to 27. Most of the fatalities were recorded in the Cordillera Administrative Region. 36 others were injured while 2 remain missing in Kalinga. More than 1 million families have been affected by Owan, which is projected to recur and re-enter the Philippine area of responsibility today.
President Bongbong Marcos, several government agencies and the private sector have launched Oplan Contra Baha. This is the Greater Metro Manila Waterways clearing and cleaning operations. At the launch, Marcos said flooding could be reduced by some 60% if pumping stations are fixed and waterways maintained. The project will run for 9 months and will expand to Central Luzon. The president also acknowledged the support of business magnates Manny V. Pangilinan and Ramon Ang in the cleaning and dredging esteros. More denials from personalities being tagged in an alleged destabilization plot against the Marcos administration. Recall that former Duterte envoy to China, Mon Tulfo, came out with a list of 19 people supposedly plotting to oust President Bongbong Marcos. Tulfo claimed that the plan is being financed by Vice President Sara Duterte and her brother, Davao Congressman Pulong Duterte, and former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson. Singson and former Quezon City Congressman Mike Defensor are on Tulfo's list and both denied their involvement in the supposed destabilization plot.
Totoo na dun sa pag-organize ng rally, kasama ko dyan. Kinonvene namin yung People's Coalition, andun yung UPI, si General Pokis nandun, si Greco Belica naman from the People's Council. So, tulong-tulong lang ma'am kung ano yung mga kailangan. Yung iba sa program, yung iba sa logistics, yung iba sa sound and stage. So, ambag-ambag lang.
Panakot nila ito sa mga tao. Walang katotohanan.
And joining us in a bit will be Storycon's resident political heckler, Tito Rol Llamas. But from the Philippine Star, we have Editor-in-Chief Imee Pamintuan, all the way from Parañaque.
Hi, Imee.
Hi, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday.
Imee, your audio is a bit muffled. Or
it's very echoey. Yeah, it's very echoey.
Oh, parang incidental yung mo. Parang hindi siya microphone nang pumasok. Sige, we'll fix your audio first siguro.
You know what I realized? This is my first day on Storycon this week. Nung Monday walang Storycon. Yesterday I was doing an interview. So it feels like Monday to me. What did I miss?
So,
Wala masyado.
dumiretso ka lang hanggang linggo.
Oh, dumiretso.
Mag-Storycon siya hanggang linggo, kung gusto nyo.
What did I miss? Ang dami.
But, ang daming stories din dito eh. Si Imee Marcos was saying, Jan confirmed, yeah, it's an advisory from Camille Samonte of Channel 5, the reporter. Imee Marcos was saying that what she heard was bumaliktad na yung ilang testigo.
Or baka malapit na bumaliktad. That they might be... Bumaliktad na ba or babaliktad pa lang?
Well, she's saying na what she heard was
Or
bumaliktad.
babawiin na ang kanilang testimonya according to Senator Imee Marcos.
But yeah, when they appear again in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, and she specified si Orly Gutesa na natakot daw, tinakot daw para bumaliktad.
Which is something that former Congressman Mike Defensor was trying to insinuate last time. Not yesterday when you spoke to him, but the previous time that we interviewed him. Oo, that he was being threatened, and he also accused the notary public of flipping, bumaliktad din daw. So, I don't know, it feels to me like...
But Imee, ready? Imee, can you hear us now?
Okay na ba?
Yeah,
Okay na
that's
ba?
better. Yeah.
Okay, pero kung magre-retract yan, ibig sabihin, merong mga taong alam ko nandun kung nasan siya, di ba?
Well, ang narinig nga natin is
Someone
ibang may hawak
got
sa
to
kanya,
him.
hindi yung sinasabi ni Mike Defensor. That's the other version that we heard. Iba may hawak daw kay Gutesa. But that's something that we have to confirm.
So he
Kaya
admitted
nga,
he...
someone got to him kung magre-retract yan.
So yesterday, did he admit he lied or he got it wrong?
He got it wrong. Ang sabi niya, kasi hindi naman daw niya nakausap na diretsahan eh. Ang sabi niya is, ang intindi niya is, hawak siya ng mga kasamahan niya. So maybe he
Na Marine,
assumed
no?
na Marines.
Sinasabi pa rin na Marine eh.
No, that may be true. That may be retired Marines. But
Yeah.
remember, when we interviewed him, not yesterday, but the previous time, he insisted na nasa Marines compound siya. Right? You asked a follow-up question around that. And he was adamant na nandun siya within the compound, being hidden from being
Although
protected
medyo
by the
mahirap
Marines.
actually yun, di ba? Ed, nakapunta ka na rin doon sa kampo na yun, di ba?
Well,
Pag pumasok doon yung heavily tinted car na ang nakaupo ay opisyal, hindi naman yung sisilipin lahat kung sino laman eh.
yeah. Actually, kahit hindi
Diba?
heavily tinted eh. Hindi naman nila bubusisiin kung sino lahat ang sakay eh.
O
Especially
hindi
if
mo naman
you're...
sisilipin yun eh, magtago
Especially if
lang
you
mo
have
sa sahig eh.
And there are
Hindi mo na yung
houses kasi
makikita.
there. May bachelor office
Oh, may
quarters sa loob
barracks.
eh.
Oh.
Oo. Yung hindi lang barracks. When you say barracks kasi parang dormitory.
Oh.
May mga
Actual
actual
houses
bahay.
for the officers.
Oo.
Yes.
Kasi nagiinuman kami dati doon
Housing
eh.
yun eh,
Doon
that's
sa
a housing
General State.
area.
Oh, housing area. Parang Aguinaldo. Saka
Yes.
Cracky.
Bonifacio, yeah.
Mas malaki siya sa Aguinaldo actually.
Oo.
Di ba?
Oo. Tapos,
Malaki siya, it's a sprawling area.
Tapos meron ba siyang entrance and exit na hindi yung main, diretso dun sa mga sa housing area.
Yes. Kaya nga, yun na nga.
So, yun.
Kaya hindi rin malaman. Makikita natin, total, sa Friday daw magkakaroon ng session eh.
So
Yung
did
Blue Ribbon, diba?
Senator Lacson confirm that November 14 will be the
Yes.
resumption of the hearing? So sigurado na yan. Okay, that's
Friday.
good. And it'll be interesting to see which ones of these witnesses will
Will appear.
change
May
their
surprise
tunes
witness
according
daw
to
siya.
Senator Imee Marcos.
No, may surprise witness daw si Senator Ping Lacson. So I guess it's not Gutesa dahil hindi naman niya witness yun.
Well, malay mo, he's a surprise witness na because surprise, surprise, iba na
Siya na
sabi
pala.
niya. Iba ibig sabihin ng surprise
Ako
witness.
surprise talaga tayo.
Oh my goodness.
Hindi ko naman,
No, I don't
There are many
think
ways of-
so. There are many ways to skin the cat, yes, but I don't think so. Kasi tinanong na natin siya.
surprise.
Tinanong na natin siya about this last time, yung about Senator Ping's witness. Di ba ayaw nga niya sabihin masyado. He didn't want to give much away. Other than,
I don't think it's Gutesa.
other than this person's appearance will be the first
Yeah.
at the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Because remember, even Senator Ping was not 100% sure that this person would turn up to the hearings, right? That's why he didn't want to give much details away. Sabi niya, antayin natin hanggang nasa harapan na natin at the Senate.
But let me throw another
So,
wrench into the
hindi si
machinery.
Gutesa siya.
We're talking about Friday, November 14th, the resumption of the Senate Blue Ribbon hearing, where you might have explosive witnesses and explosive, if at all, retractions. But at the same time, sabi nga ni Tito Soto, meron na namang ugong-ugong na papalitan siya. And remember, napakaliit ang margin ni Tito Soto as dun sa majority as Senate President. So, dalawa lang dun sa 14 ang bumaliktad. Tanggal si Tito Soto as Senate President, and consequently, baka tanggal din ulit si Ping Lacson as
Although
Blue
dinampayan
Ribbon.
kahapon ni Tito Soto, di ba? Sabi niya, lagi naman may ganyang usapan dyan sa Senado.
That's one way of
Sinabi niya kahapon.
making light of any threat for
Saka kung may ipapalit ka dyan kay Ping, na napalitan na yan hindi ba? Napakahaba ng break Kung may gusto talaga silang ipalit, he resigned. Dapat meron na tayo narinig na pangalan Walang gustong mag-step up Di ba?
We're not hearing any names? Or the usual?
We don't know kasi minsan nagtatansyahan yung mga yan.
That's true. There's a lot of signaling going on. There's a lot of feeling each other out.
Especially if they find out kung anong mangyayari on Friday, kung sino mga tetestigo at anong sasabihin ng mga testigo, baka magbago na naman ang complexion ng Senado. Baka baka magbago kung sinong majority at sinong minority at sinong Blue Ribbon Committee chairman. Again, of course, this is all speculative. But what I'm saying is, you have all these elements getting thrown in the pot. Yung putahe, hindi mo alam kung anong lalabas.
Pag hindi naman nagtestigo yan, pwede mag-press con.
Well, there you go.
O pwede yung humarap kay Boying Remulla. O sa ICI, napakarami naman venue Bakit ka ba magre-risk na galit na nga mga tao, magaganyan pa kayo?
Speaking of Boying Remulla, what else do we know about the cases? First cases will be filed next week or the week after sa Sandigan Bayan. Ito na yung first set of malversation charges. The respondents will be former Congressman Zaldi Co, officials of SunWest Corporation, and officials of DPWH Region 4B. Hindi ito Bulacan because the first cases have to do with the anomalous flood control project in Nauhan, Oriental Mindoro, which Senator Ping Lacson flagged in his privilege
4B.
speech.
Okay.
4B, hindi ito Bulacan. Even though I know the epicenter is Bulacan, pero yung first few cases that they were able to, I guess, build up well is the one that's in Oriental Mindoro. Malversation. And I guess once that's filed, ito na yung sinasabi ni Ombudsman Remulla na that can then trigger the rest of the legal mechanisms, right? They could cancel, could request the cancellation of a passport, they could request help from Interpol.
Departure.
Or hold departure
At too late na for Manuel
orders,
Bunoan,
the very important HDOs to replace the ILBOs, ano tawag doon? The Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order.
Umalis na siya
Si Bunoan. Kasi wala
nakaalis na si
siyang
Manuel
departure
Bunoan.
order.
Pero I read hanggang December 17 lang. Baka naman babalik pa.
Pwede naman extend dyan kayo naman.
We'll find out.
Benefit of the doubt, Imee. Benefit of the doubt.
It really makes you wonder kung ano yung purpose ng ILBO Kasi, diba, Lookout Bulletin Order. So, tingnan mo habang
So you can alert
lumalabas.
your counterpart sa ibang bansa, pakibantayan nga yan. Ganon lang naman.
I guess because the HDO is a pretty drastic step. So,
And it needs a
again,
court
wala
order.
pang kaso. So, how can you put somebody
Kaya
under
nga eh.
HDO agad?
Kaya nga eh.
Even though there's a mountain of, they're building a mountain of evidence against somebody for as long as wala pang
Pwede kayo demanda
nasasampa.
niya, no?
Exactly.
But also remember, you've already had the flurry of admissions and confessions under oath against self-interest. I mean, these are confessions against self-interest. Kumbaga,
Kaya nga magrarally, Ed, kasi wala pa daw nakakasuhan.
ayun nga eh. Kung umaamin sila na nangurakot sila, pero
puro testimony.
ni charges wala pang napafile.
Kaya magrarally na
I think
magrarally.
the ones who, you're correct, I think the ones who testify, dapat meron ng HDO sa kanila.
At the very
against
least,
them. At the very least, sila Henry Alcantara,
Kasi
Bryce
these are made under
Hernandez.
oath already. I know it's not but it's enough to file a case against
It's
them.
enough to put them under hold departure
and
order.
then build
Yes.
it up, and then if you want to file more cases or escalate the case, the gravity of the case, di ba? Parang
Kasi gusto nga ni Boying Remulla,
Certainty of
evidence for
conviction.
conviction.
Certainty of
For
conviction.
conviction. Mataas yung requirement niya.
Yeah.
Yung probable cause lang yan, file ka lang ng file eh.
Yeah, pero Bok, ganito eh. Kung may certainty of conviction ka ng jaywalking, sampahan mo na.
Reasonable certainty.
Sampahan mo na ng kaso, tapos ihabol mo na lang iba. Kung meron kang certainty of conviction ng jaywalking, isampa mo na.
Reasonable lang, reasonable.
Parang yung kaso,
rin yan.
yung tax cases that were filed against the American gangster,
Capote.
Al Capone. Na hindi nila mahuli-huli.
Racketeering yun.
Oo.
May racketeering law sila, tayo wala. Tayo magko-combine pa tayo. Tax evasion, money laundering. Kasi ayaw ipas ng Kongreso yung mga racketeering proposals. Anti-racketeering proposals. Kaya ganon.
So anyway, sige,
Maraming
maligay
ayaw
tayo.
ipas yung Kongreso natin. Ngayon may pinail sila na anti-dynasty bill. Tignan natin kung saan umabot yan. Marami nang i-propose na ganyan.
So, Imee,
Pumasa ng second reading.
Imee, I take it to mean you're not confident na babalik pa si former Sec Bonoan?
Baka mas masaya mag-Christmas sa ibang bansa, di ba? White Christmas.
That is true. I think he went to the States, right? I think
Ang balik niya, kailan? December
17,
17
allegedly.
yung leave niya.
Allegedly,
But he's no longer a government official.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
not, he's
Wala
not
naman,
required to.
nothing can hold him.
Correct. He's a
Sabi
private
niya,
citizen.
he's accompanying his wife daw. Yun ang report lang naman. Accompanying his wife for medical treatment, unspecified medical condition na wala naman tayong pake dahil private person. Kung ano man yung medical condition na yun, no?
And you wouldn't want to fly back to Manila on the 17th going down to the 25th dahil
Yeah.
sobrang sikip sa airport. So that's a good excuse to stay longer.
Super yun, super. Oo, ang gulo-gulo pa ngayon kung galing ka sa Amerika, ha? Dahil
Oo nga.
nagre-reopen pa lang yung government nila and they're already adjusting all the flights.
Let's,
medyo magulo yan.
ang daming umalis, no? It's like,
Yun yung shutdown ng umalis.
who else, I was talking about Imee kanina na today is my first day on Storycon this week kasi wala nga ako the
Yeah.
last 2 days. But who else was missing at the Senate yesterday at the resumption?
Si Bato.
Where is Senator Bato Dela Rosa?
We've been trying to get him for all the programs. Magmula kahapon, wala eh. No luck so far. Unavailable daw.
Ngayon wala. Nandun ba siya? Ed, hindi ko napansin.
We
Dun
didn't
sa
see.
session.
Mostly it was Senator Bam Aquino who was doing his giving his privileged speech, right? Pero hindi ko napansin if Senator Bato was there. And it has revived this whole debate over RA 9851, Republic Act 9851.
Na hindi naman actually, hindi naman gagamitin yan sa kanya. Ang gagawin sa kanya, kapareho kay Duterte, kapag ICC yan, ICC will, dahil hindi na may member, magre-request ng ICC sa Interpol, pakiaresto nga to. Interpol will course it to our government, at yun ang i-invoke na naman ng natin, we are a party to the International Criminal Police Organization, meron tayong mga obligasyon dyan. So, yun ang magiging basihan yan. Hindi siya extradition. It's not a surrender.
It can't be extradition because ICC is not a sovereign
wala.
nation. Extradition is
Yes.
just between sovereign nations, right?
Tama.
And
Hindi naman tayo ng extradition. Hindi sila magre-request ng extradition.
we only have a few a handful of extradition treaties.
14 lang
Yes.
ata eh.
14 lang ba? I thought it was closer to 20. Hindi ba? Okay, so let's assume 14. That's very few. That's very little, right? So I know a lot of people online are using the word liberally, extradition, pero it cannot be extradition because ICC is not a sovereign state, right? Extradition only exists between two sovereign states.
Saka hindi sa atin ipapadala yung request eh. Hindi sa atin papadala, sa Interpol yun ipapadala.
Yeah. But Rex was referring back to RA 9851. That's the law on international humanitarian
crimes.
law, genocide and other
Isusurrender
crimes
natin.
against humanity. That's
Bakit
what
mo
they use to
isusurrender kung wala
surrender.
namang arrest warrant na covering him, invoking that law?
And by the way,
Diba?
as of today, as of right now, the DOJ says it also still hasn't gotten the official arrest warrant.
May
Only the
unofficial lang
ombudsman
daw,
has
sabi ni
unofficial.
Boying Remulla.
Exactly.
Well, why
It
does the
seems-
ombudsman have it?
Nakuha ba niya to before he stepped down as DOJ
Well, he
secretary?
only announced it yesterday.
That's true. I don't know. It's not clear to us how he got a hold of it, and or if he was
And why-
asked
why is
paano
he
niya
the one who
nakuha niya.
Unofficial daw, sabi niya.
Because
And
it was
he has
on
it
his
on his cell
phone.
phone.
Exactly, it was on his phone. Hindi pa official document.
May third party. Baka may yung dadating ninyong kasama ang may pinanggilingan.
Baka nadulas lang siya. What do you think? I don't know. It's very hard to read. Kasi nga the DOJ at this point still hasn't gotten the official papers. Neither has the DFA, neither has the PCTC, the Philippine Center for Transnational Crime. And so, yeah, si Ombudsman
Kasi nga
Remulla was
hindi sa
first to
atin,
break
hindi
this.
siya sa atin papadala, di ba? Hindi siya sa government natin ipapadala eh. Sa Interpol siya ipapadala.
And
Yeah,
then the
and
Interpol will contact local police
Interpol will not
officials.
tell us, meron silang protocol na ginawa kay Duterte. Hindi nila, merong mga cases na hindi nila ilalagay sa website nila para hindi ma-alert yung ina-aresto.
Oo. So,
Yan yung ginamit kay Duterte.
and also, recently, they changed the rules and made arrest warrants secret. You can only, they would only publicize it upon the approval
Yes.
of the chamber that's handling
Para
that
hindi
case.
makatakbo yung hinahanap nila.
Oo, so that was approved a few days ago, came into effect 2 days ago. And I guess it applies now to this case. So again, it's for us on this side who are covering this, it's very hard to ascertain with conviction, meron na nga ba talagang arrest warrant, because we'll never get anybody to confirm it
Yeah.
out loud, right? Other
Kasi
than
kung tinanong na ang ICC about it eh. Kung ang sagot nila dyan, walang arrest warrant, they would have said it, di ba? Straight, sabi nila, wala kami ini-issue ganyan. Eh, ang sinabi nila, they cannot confirm. Oh, yan ang sinabi. Hindi naman yung papadala sa atin dahil we are no longer a party to the ICC.
Yes, that's right. Si Chief State Counsel Dennis Arvin Chan, by the way, said that even though we're not a party to the Rome Statute anymore, because we are still part of the international community, they will most likely have to comply with this arrest order. Because of the principles of diplomacy and reciprocity, right? Because we also rely heavily on the Interpol, for instance, in the
Sa
case of
Interpol.
Teves.
Yeah, when we
Arnie
got
Teves.
Arnulfo Teves, we tapped the Interpol.
Alice
Yung
Guo
kay
din.
Arnold
Diba? I think
Teves.
we also tapped the Interpol for help with
Alice
Alice Guo.
Yeah, Alice go.
So because of the principle of reciprocity, sabi ni Secretary, is he Secretary? Chief State Counsel Dennis Arvin Chan that the government will most likely have to comply. Parang there's no option. Reminds me of what President Marcos said when
Yeah.
that fateful day in March when Duterte was taken away.
May correction lang ako, Edge, sinabi ko kahapon, yung God Save the Queen. It's different from the Manila Hotel siege. Ha?
Yeah.
Yung Manila Hotel siege
was around,
happened in July.
July.
Oo. Si Arturo Tolentino yan. Yung God
Yun
Save
yung
the Queen.
Yung
Yun yung magulo.
Manila Hotel, yung may nabugbog na ano, na
Manila
nakadilaw.
Hotel nag-take over. Oh. Yan yung unang-una. Magkaiba yan.
Talagang natanda mong paliwanag, no?
Oh, we have to
Hindi,
be,
kahapon kasi yun yung pinag-uusapan natin, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung mga,
God Save
yung
the
mga
Queen is in
events
November.
featuring Juan Ponce Enrile. Si Juan Ponce Enrile natanggal sa God Save the Queen, which was in November.
and you always have to set things right?
Yeah.
I'm reading the book.
Ganun ba?
Kailan yan pinublish? Bigat
Oh, bigat.
Ah.
I'm reading it.
This is 2012, correct?
There was, yeah.
Is this his dedication to you?
No. I got it from ano.
Yan yung kay Tony
I got it
Lopez
from
ba? Sino
Facebook.
yung writer niyan?
2012.
Oo.
Anong takeaways?
No, I'm really nga eh. Nasa umpisa lang ako ulit eh. Interesting the Enrile.
Yan yung denial nung di ba yung role niya dun sa ambush?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yan yun.
Also yung
Yeah, medyo-
why is it Juan Ponce Enrile? When the father is actually
Imbis na,
Alfonso Ponce. Enrile is the mother, the paternal mother of Alfonso Enrile. Medyo complicated lang. Pero he had to use Ponce Enrile because he was running for Congress and his enemies made another Alfonso Ponce run against him. So pareho silang pangalan. So he decided to add his mother's paternal name para magkaiba silang pangalan para hindi mapunta yung boto dun sa kalaban niya.
So, naging Ponce Enrile.
Even in 1922, may ganun ang problema. Yung papatakbo ng mga dami na kalaban para parehong pangalan.
Binawal na yan ngayon, di ba? Nuisance
Nuisance
ka na
candidates na siya ngayon.
Pag ginawa ka ngayon, oo.
And there was also something interesting yesterday. Yung anak, si Jackie Enrile, was saying that the father is actually 103 years old, hindi 101.
Correct.
Hindi mo sa amazing pa nga yan,
show that he was...
The birth certificate apparently
Oo.
showed he was 103.
Ay, hindi birth certificate. Yung Aglipayan records, kasi he was born in Gonzaga, Cagayan, a very, very poor community. The nearest institution was an Aglipayan church. So, doon naka-record, pero hindi birth certificate pero doon naka-record.
Wow. We'd have to go way back.
Date ng birth niya. I
To go
suppose
back
yung
to the
birth
Aglipayan.
certificate was later on na rin. Kasi he was born out of wedlock So, hindi siya yung tipong pinanganak tapos register mo kaagad Conservative towns in the north of Luzon. Medyo mahirap yun So, he was not apparently born in 1924. He was born in 1922.
Wow.
The same year that his father ran for Congress in Cagayan. His father is actually Bulakenyo.
Wow.
Ang gulo naman yan.
Medyo magulo na
But ganun kasi dati, I mean, birth certificates and records were a bit messy back then. As you said,
Actually,
the sign of the times.
Hanggang ngayon,
Better now.
Yeah, better now.
At least they're processed in the hospitals. Pero dati, of course, if you're born out of wedlock, if you're born...
Punta sa Manila, ang haba ng pila sa NSO, nagpapalate registration yung ibang tao kasi in a lot of areas, in a lot of far-flung areas, hindi naman uso yung birth certificate Especially sa Muslim communities, hindi uso yung birth certificate
Yeah. Even, yeah.
So, na-realize na kailangan pala ng birth certificate, magpa-plate registration ka.
Ganun nangyari with our
Parang Alice Go.
kasambahays, with our helpers. Ganun nga din. We had to help them get late registration birth certificates. But we are going to pause for a quick break now. We are watching Storycon 1 News. Please stay with us. We'll be right back right here.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Regina Lay. Still with us, I'm Imee of the Philippine Star.
And Rol Llamas, are you there? Wala pa. Sige, subukan natin ipasok si Rol Llamas mamaya-maya ng konti. Okay, what do we have? Okay. Anyway, so what do we have for today in the Senate? Do we have Imee, what's your what are your stories for tomorrow?
Yung yung sinusundan nga yung kontrabaha, binanggit nyo na Tapos yung nagwa-warning si Shell Joke about the 1-year state of calamity. Sabi niya, baka magkaroon din tayo ng another family scandal. Remember, under the emergency, yun ang ini-invoke nila.
Emergency purchases.
Yung ng kaso sa family, meron tayong state of national health emergency, di ba? Kaya finastrack yung hindi binaypass yung mga procurement laws. At yun ang sinasabi nila kung bakit nagkaroon ng ganong klaseng deal over formally. Yun ang wina-warning ni Shell Joke mo ngayon.
Okay. Imee,
1 year yan eh.
let me just bring in Rol
Nancy.
Llamas, ang ating Tito in the car.
Oo nga wala namang traffic, ang daya.
Gandang hapon, tingnan mo. Ayan, hindi umaandar, oh.
Oh, sige na, sige na.
Hindi umayaan,
Sige,
tuloy-tuloy
umaandar
Ayan,
Ito
bagal, oh.
Teka,
Ang bagal, kitang-kita eh.
Ang bagal, oh, tingnan mo.
Ronald, I want to ask you something in particular kasi may sinasabi si Imee Marcos, may story yung ating Senate reporter si Camille Samonte. Sabi ni Imee Marcos, mukhang aatras na raw ang ilang testigo sa Blue Ribbon Committee kasama si Orly Gutesa.
Ha?
Yun ang,
Talaga?
yun ang balita niya. Of course, we're waiting for for actual word. Pero anong dinig mo?
Ano?
Ha? Nakakagulat naman, nakakagulat. Oo.
Bigyan niya ng tissue, dripping with sarcasm nung lokon to. Hindi, anong balita mo? Ano balita mo?
Well, the very fact na hindi malaman nila Mike Defensor at saka nila Coretta nasaan yung ilang witness na dinala sa Senado noon, medyo reveal something na baka nagtatago siya hindi lang para sa kanyang safety, kung hindi, baka nag-iisip siya tungkol dun sa mga nangyari sa kanyang testimony, lalo na yung fake na notary public. So, may kaunting indication dahil sa kanyang pagkawala at yung mga nagdala sa kanya sa Senado ay hindi alam kung ano nangyari sa kanya, may kaunting indications that something is going on. At kung sakaling siya ay biglang susulpot na hindi na kinontak yung kanyang mga handlers before, then there's also a possibility na baka magbago yung kanyang testimony. Baka. At siguro dito nang gagaling yung information ni Senator Imee Marcos.
Okay, sa iyong pagkakaalam, sino may hawak?
Hindi ako.
Tagal na sagot eh.
Aminin mo na, Ronald.
Ipihit mo nga yung camera mo, baka mamaya kasama mo sa kotse.
Hindi ako. Hindi ako. Baka nasa kuweba ni Reg.
Excuse me. We're different.
Anong balita
We're so
mo doon sa
different.
destabilization, dina-downplay na nila.
Yung alin?
Marami
The
nagdi-deny.
stab.
Alin nyo, Imee?
balita mo?
Alin nyo, Imee? Imee, ano yun?
Anong balita mo doon sa
Pakiul-
destabilization? Dina-downplay na ng mga opisyal saka sunod-sunod yung mga denial ng mga sinasabit na mga pangalan
Well, yung ginawa naman ni Tulpo, parang pa naman yun amateur night. Kinuha niya yung mga usual suspects, pinagsama-sama niya sa list, at pinalabas niya na na-discover niya yung listahan na yon. Yun naman yung usual suspects di ba? Yan naman yung mga lumalabas dati pa September 21 pa lang So, walang bago. Unless, ang bago dyan, kung may sasama na una, mga active officers, no? Ikalawa, ay bagong mga grupo na dati ay hindi kasama. Halimbawa, yung mga evangelicals na dati ay hindi sumasama sa iglesia at saka sa JL na pwedeng sumama this time. So yun yung mga bago. Pero itong listahan ni Mon Tulfo, hindi naman to bago It's a list of the usual suspects na ginyambol mo, tapos pwede mong palabasin na discover mo.
What is the point of it? What is the point of it? To add to the noise? To distract?
Well, to show na kwan. To make yourself relevant. Na alam mo itong bagay na ito.
Ronald, ano ba yung line between destabilization and providing support? Kasi kahapon, di ba, yung umami naman sa atin si Mike Defensor na nagko-contribute siya doon sa mga logistics, di ba, doon para doon sa EDSA rally. Ano bang doon? How do you draw the line?
Ang ang mahalaga, Ami, bukas. Baka kasi naglabas ng statement yung organizers bukas kung 1 day lang or 3 days or more. Ibig sabihin, kung bukas ay sasabihin nila na 1 day lang, malamang it's the usual indignation rally. Pero kung sasabihin nila na tuloy yung 3 or more days, then that is something else. Bakit ka magti 3 to 5 days na ikaw ay magpe-prayer rally for peace? Anong napakahabang prayer nun for peace?
Di ba that is the plan? 3 days nga daw. That was the
Yes,
original.
pero
1 day na lang
alam-
na yan siya.
Pero alam ko ay pinag-uusapan ngayon kung 1 day na lang.
So they're
At bukas sila
reconsidering.
magpapasya.
They're reconsidering.
Bukas ay 1 day na lang. Then, so that's a step backward.
What is
Kung yan ay
that based?
magpapatuloy na 3 days, then yung sinasabi ng mga retired generals na ito ay pupunta sa isang uprising, kung mutiny, kung withdrawal of support, pwedeng yun ang kanilang balak. Pwedeng yun ang kanilang balak. Whether it will succeed, I doubt it. No, I doubt it.
And
Pero ganun yung posibleng mangyari.
And it was decreased to 1 day based on hindi ganun karaming tao are interesado? Ano yung
Hindi.
basihan
Baka
nito?
kung 1 day lang, ibig sabihin yung ilang mga inaasahan nilang triggers or major players ay hindi mangyayari.
Meaning yung military
Hindi
component.
mangyayari. Halimbawa, sa hearing sa Blue Ribbon sa Friday, meron ba dong
Wala, nagbe-break up ka, Ronald.
halimbawa linking the president or the first Hindi, yung Blue Ribbon ni Ping Lacson na may pasabog. Yung pasabog ba ay ididikit yung first family or ididikit dyan yung mga usual suspects katulad ng mga senador? No? Kaya parang ang lumalabas, if they decide tomorrow na 1 day na lang, ibig sabihin walang trigger.
Pero hindi ba yung INC 1 day na lang na? Yung INC 1 day
Or
na lang.
yung military element na inaasahan nila. Yung military element ay nawala. Then hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-destabilization nang walang military component.
Oh. Hirap-hirap mag-organize ng 3-day rally, ha?
Correct. Correct.
Uupo ka dyan
Ang
ng tatlong
nangyayari,
araw.
alam mo naman,
You need to
Ami,
feed them, kailangan mo ng
Yes.
sanitation.
tapos uulan pa.
Hirap-hirap yan.
Tapos uulan pa. Uulan.
Oh.
Di ba?
Oh, mamaya, paano kung mag-U-turn si Uwan? Mamaya
Grabe
daw
ka.
gabi. Oh,
Matinding
mag-U-turn.
U-turn naman yun.
Oh, paano kung
Hindi,
mag-U-turn? Di ba,
kaya
hindi?
nga, Ami, kung 3 or more days, kwan yan, EDSA type yan. EDSA 1, EDSA 2.
Eh,
Diba?
you're presuming na magkakaroon ng EDSA crowd. Eh, paano kung mabuisit lang yung mga yung mga motorista? Di ba?
Pero I remember this is Iglesia, and when the Iglesia calls...
It's a coalition of religious
Hindi,
groups.
Iglesia
coalition,
Rizal
but
Park,
Iglesia
hindi
in
naman,
Center
oh.
Mass, eh. When Iglesia calls its people out, they really come out.
Ang iglesia nasa Rizal Park. Yung sa EDSA iba, yung yun, UPI yun.
Yeah.
Yung sa
Ibang grupo
yung
yun.
sa
Iba
EDSA,
oh.
yung sa EDSA maliit lang yon. Although magpapadala, ang target doon, magpadala yung iglesia ng 50,000, pero yung bulk sa Luneta. But 50,000 is still big. Tuloy yung
malaki na.
yun yung inaasahan ng UPI, na may pupunta iglesia ng mga 50,000. But most will be in Luneta. Tama yung sabi ni Ami.
Rizal Park.
Pero bukas, Ami, bukas yung final decision nila.
Okay, abangan natin yan. Teka, Ronald, anong chismis mo sa Biyernes sa Blue Ribbon Committee? Mukha bang sino itong surprise witness? At anong klaseng testimonya kaya itong surprise witness? Wala bang bulong-bulong sa'yo si Ping? Ayan, wala tuloy.
No, mom's the word.
Okay, whilst we're waiting for him to come back, break ko lang.
So tomorrow will be the final decision.
Okay.
Hindi ko, wala akong alam.
Medyo choppy. Babreak ko lang, the peso has hit a historic low, a new historic low. It's closed at 59.17 to the dollar today. Kaka-close lang na market. The previous historic low was 59.13. Umabot nga siya ng as low as 59.19 today, but it finally closed marginally lower at 59.17. Last week, we spoke to former NEDA chief Winnie Monsod, kami ni Imee, and she said she wasn't too worried about the peso weakening kasi nga, it only hurts really the exporters.
Yeah.
But I have to point out, we're an importing nation. We import oil. We import raw materials. We import feeds, right? So, masakit din yun. We are net oil importers. And also, of course, you can't deny the fact that kaya siya humihina is because of low confidence in the economy, right?
Yeah.
Yung markets nga, we're also at the Philippine stock markets are also at historic lows right now. And to be honest, being a business editor, of course, we talk to a lot of people about these issues. Halos wala akong mahanap na economists who are, still optimistic about the direction of the economy. I have to say this feels pretty grim. Kasi nga there's a bit of a momentum, and because of that terrible Q3 number, terrible Q3 GDP number, nakikita na natin there's been a series of downgrades from the think tanks, the banks, and the multilateral institutions. Isa-isa na sila nag-downgrade ng forecast for the Philippines. So the worry is that from hovering around the 5-ish growth rate, maging below 5 tayo.
But the economic situation is directly a result of problem with fundamentals, or is it because of the corruption scandal and other
Combination.
scandals that are more political in nature?
All of the above.
Combination.
All of the above.
Correct.
All of the above, Ed.
Meron din
Partly
kasing
fundamentals,
impact yung
partly
si
itong
Trump,
anti-corruption.
meron yung Trump na yung global meron, and tayo aggravated by our local situation.
So, both economic
Anong
and
problema?
political.
Pero tingnan mo, Ed, dapat at this point, dapat at this point, medyo nag-stabilize yung peso dahil
Yeah.
kasi
Kasi
simula nung
kasi.
pumapasok na yung remittances.
Yung remittances.
Tapos ikalawa, nag-i-intervene na yung Bangko Sentral. Nag-i-intervene yung bangko pero wala pa rin silang magawa. No? Kausap ko nga yung tatlong Taipans the other day. Sabi nila yung third quarter is bad. But ang tingin nila yung fourth quarter, in spite of Christmas and New Year, will be worse.
Worse in the historical perspective, because traditionally that's the strongest quarter, right? Because of
Yes.
remittances, because of consumer spending. But coming from that context, mukhang kahit na mag-register tayo ng 5%, for instance, in the fourth quarter, that's still pretty weak traditionally. And tama si Ronald, it's a combination of a lot of factors, structural, fundamental. People want to see reforms. Investors are holding back. Pero meron din kasi yung DPWH is a huge factor in this. Kanina sa Money Talks, I spoke to Alex Escucha, who's a former president of the Philippine Economic Society. Sabi niya, at DPWH, everything is frozen. Nobody dares sign papers right there. Kasi
I can imagine.
everyone's scared, right? Everyone is frozen into inaction. They don't know ano ba yung legitimate projects, ano ba yung what's what. Because a lot of them were replaced.
What's gonna bite me?
So they're new.
In
Oo,
a few
but why
months?
would I sign off on a multi-billion project kung hindi
Sinabi
ko
din
naman
yan sa
alam?
amin ng Chinese Federation. Yung mga official ng Chinese Federation, sabi nila, alam mo, construction accounts for a large segment of the national production.
Especially
And
public
frozen
works.
daw lahat ngayon.
Oo.
Tapos ang daming walang trabaho, may impact yun. In fact, our consumer consumption is down, di ba?
Consumption is down.
FDI is down, lahat bagsak eh.
So, malaking factor din malaking factor talaga yung public spending doon. And the fact that people want to see heads on the plate now, right?
Yeah.
Kasi it's been how many months since President Marcos exposed all of this.
It was July.
End of
28.
July. Oo.
Yan ang ano niya yan ang ano ng rally ngayong
4
weekend.
months. We're going on 4
Yan
months.
yung
Going
message
on
nila.
4 months. Oo.
Yan ang message nila. Bilis-bilisan nyo. Tama ba, Ronald? O mas malaki yung message? Ayan, dumilim na kay Ronald.
Nasa tunnel yan siguro.
Tunnel.
Yes. Anong tanong mo, Ami? Ano yung tanong mo? Ami, anong tanong mo?
Sabi ko, yun lang bang message na bilis-bilisan yung pag-file, yung mga rally this weekend. Kasi yun yung pinaparating nila ngayon na ang tagal-tagal naman, bakit hanggang ngayon walang napapilan, saka bakit yung mga maliliit lang daw, dapat daw yung mga higher-ups.
Mukhang yung target nila this December, before Christmas, medyo hindi naman mga small fry. No?
Yeah.
Most probably may mga senador. Most probably may cabinet secretary. Most probably yung mga contractors at saka mga congressmen may masasama, no? Kaya at least kung yun yung target nila. Kung hindi nila magawa yan, malaki yung problema nila.
Gagawin ba nila yan bago mag-November 30?
Medyo compelling din yung ginawa ni Speaker Bojidi kahapon. Ginawa nilang priority bill yung ICI bill na to strengthen yung ICI at saka amazingly nag-propose sila ng anti-dynasty bill.
Surprise from the lease of Isabela.
Ang balita ko may blessing yan ng presidente.
The anti-dynasty bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nagtawag si Bojidi ng tinawagan niya yung mga kasama niya to support it, di ba?
Yes.
Hindi naman yung basta-basta magsasalita ng ganyan na
Yes.
Nasa-exempt lang siya.
Ang gusto nila, gumawa ng bago na.
Suportahan ba yan ng Senado?
I was wondering about the feedback from the lower chamber. Kasi sa lower chamber, puro dynasties .
Oo nga eh. That's a house of dynasties.
Yes, pero baka mas may chance yan na maaprubahan sa lower house kesa sa Senate.
Yeah, lalo
Dahil
sa
40% ng Senate ay dynasties .
mas malala sa Senate.
Oo.
Ang doon yung mga dynasty.
So, totoo lang, at a time like this, kaya pa ba nila i-reject yung bill na yon if the lower house approves it?
Yeah.
Kung hindi, baka orderan sila ng Supreme Court.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Merong petition sa Supreme Court to compel Congress . Baka mamaya mapahiya sila kapag inorderan pa sila ng Supreme Court.
Correct.
May mga petitions before the Supreme Court to compel Congress to do their duty of passing the enabling law as required in the Constitution.
But the enabling law will also set the definitions . So it's up to Congress to define the dynasty and
details.
Say,
The details.
The devil in the details.
The details.
To say
Pero
what
din,
comprises the dynasty.
Magle-level up din yung simbahan at saka civil society. Halimbawa, sa November 30, hindi lang anti-corruption yung message, anti-dynasty.
Aba.
Yan.
So, hindi yan sa EDSA lang. Lahat ng simbahan magkakaroon ng mobilization nationwide.
So
That hasn't happened in recent memory. So lahat ng simbahan anti-corruption, anti-military junta, and anti-dynasty.
So 3 things. The rallying cry is composed of 3 elements. No corruption, no dynasties, no military junta.
Yes. At nationwide, nationwide, hindi lang sa EDSA.
Parang ang dami naman asks.
Mabuti pa yung Bangsamoro Transition Authority nakapagpasa ng anti-dynasty laws.
Correct.
Oo nga. Saka sa Sangguniang Kabataan.
That's true.
Sangguniang Kabataan.
Pasko kasi ngayon Pasko, kaya damihan mo na yung wishes mo.
Ganun ba? Kaya sabi ko nga, parang dami mong asks . Okay. It's good to stay hopeful. Okay.
Goodbye, Pilipinas na tayo.
That's, we'll end the show
OT na
there. Oo, malapit na mag-OT. But thank you for joining Storycon today. That was Imee Pomitun, Editor-Chief of the Philippine Star, Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow.
Parang sila ngayon or
Hello?
Wala,
Sorry,
nag-break up
you were
ka,
choppy, Ronald. Anyways, join us again tomorrow 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are one news, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.